Gen Z is never going to have a Britney Spears, a Michael Jackson, an NSYNC, a Backstreet Boys, a Beyonce, because what it takes to make that level of pop star is unethical.
A lot of these celebrity artists cannot sing. Like, some of them just have a certain look that could be pushed. Like, some of them are that girl and their body gives that girl, and they're pushed because of what they look like, and they're great performers, but they are not great singers.
These beautiful things that I've got, please.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaya and welcome back to Amaya's Unsolicited Opinions. Hey, we're at 10K. Y'all, I don't know how to feel. Like, it just feels so weird, you know, when you put so much effort into something over a prolonged period of time and then you actually see what you were wishing for. It just feels like, what do I do now? Like, I guess we're on the road to 20K, the road to 100K. But anywho, in today's video, we're going to be talking about this current wave of bland pop stars and why everybody's feeling fake, inauthentic, boring, and just, I don't know, just the music isn't sitting right. It's always feeling like there's something missing. So split up today's video into 3 different sections. We're going to be talking about the nepotism wave and why one of our biggest issues is a lot of these pop stars are coming from parents who have been in maybe the music industry, the movie industry, any type of industry, with all these skills and insights snatched from whoever they know in the industry, and their appearance is crafted and put together, but it just gives performative, it gives PR, and there's just something missing. Then I'm going to be talking about popcorn pop stars and why I feel like we're also in this wave of record labels doing what they can to develop different women to create pop stars, trying to create the Britney Spears and the Rihanna, and it's not sitting right. The girls aren't growing like they're supposed to. And then the last thing we're going to be talking about is this current time of conformity and why social media has hugely impacted the longevity of these pop stars. Yeah, all of that and the above. So let's get right into today's video.
I think the reason we don't have any pop stars anymore, or like it people anymore in this era of music, is because we aren't choosing to listen to music. We're being forced to. Back then, when you liked a song, you'd put it on your CD or put it on your iPod, and you would only directly hear the song when you wanted to hear the song. Like, there were TV commercials and radio, but the frequency in which you'd hear songs is so different than it is now. Because at least with radio, you turned it on because you wanted to hear something. But now music is being shoved in our faces through TikTok, Instagram, commercials, ads, and every other algorithm, whether we like it or not. And I feel like that's why songs get boring so fast. Like, we're not choosing to listen to a song, but we hear it 50 times a day anyways.
Let's get into the nepotism wave. So, the first person who I started to see this conversation online surrounding nepotism and why, you know, the pop girlies are just becoming fake and performative, and, you know, their persona is crafted and it's not authentic, is Gracie Abrams. If you don't know who Gracie Abrams is, I would just define her as like one of the pop artists, like a Tate McRae or an Addison Rae or a Ben Simbu. Like one of them. They are going to be talking about in this video because they're all in the same category for being inauthentic and performative, if you're asking me. But you know, her image is very crafted. Like, online, she has the perfect abs. She goes to, you know, music festivals wearing sweatsuits and stuff like that, and she has a famous boyfriend, and she makes the same kind of H&M sounding pop music.
A really interesting thing to me about the hate for Gracie Abrams is that I feel like it really shows that people actually don't hate Nepo babies. They just hate Nepo babies who are not deserving of their nepotism, y'all. Because when I think of celebrities who are extremely big, I can think of several celebrities who have big connections, but they were still able to kind of prove something something to us, you know? And the thing is that people feel like Gracie Abrams is not deserving of her nepotism because she hasn't proven herself in any way. The girls say that she is boring, and it sounds like one of those new age Christian radio stations that young conservatives really love to listen to. When we look at the market for what the pop girls are bringing, they're all bringing their unique flavors. Sabrina Carpenter, Tyla, Chapel Rowan, Tate McRae, they're all bringing something different. And while some of the girls may not be giving the best execution, they are at least giving us a show. And Gracie Abrams is not giving us anything at all, y'all. And I think that's the reason that's why people are not liking her, because personality, she's not really bringing anything, in my personal opinion. I haven't seen anything that makes me want to like really listen to her from her personality. And the songs, they're all right, but again, it gives that new age Christian music feel.
And a lot of the girlies eat it up. A lot of the girlies love it. Am I a hater of the music? No, I'm not a hater. It's not my type of music, but her music is good. But like I said, it's just something missing, and the number one piece of that is going to be the nepotism. Just because an artist has a head start in the music industry does not mean that they shouldn't be putting in just as much effort as somebody who does not have these connections and has to get it from the mud.
Those pop stars don't know what it's like to be poor. They don't understand what it's like to be, if this music doesn't go through, I can't get another job. If this music doesn't sell, I can't eat. If this music doesn't sell, I'm not who the fuck I think I am. And it's not me blaming them or calling them excessively rich or any of those things, but there's something about poverty. And I was just saying that poverty doesn't teach you shit, but I guess maybe I'm backtracking on that a little bit for the sake of being a creative artist. I will stand on poverty isn't teaching you anything, but suffering in pursuit of chasing a goal and allowing yourself to be at the mercy, the complete mercy of whatever that pursuit turns you into. Yeah, that's something that people who have experienced poverty or have come from nothing know all too well. Way, way, way more familiar with that than just asking for something or wanting something and it being a payment away or just a literal ask away.
You notice that when pop stars like a Britney Spears, like a Rihanna, they're not rich, they don't have these connections every day from the young age, getting up, singing, getting up, imagining what they're going to look like in the future, getting up, making songs, getting up and are working with these music professionals, having real artist development and expanding their skills so that when they go out on the stage, they can actually sing without auto-tune being on the mic.
We live in a time where the music industry has been heavily dependent upon social media to give them their next one-hit wonders and stars. They no longer invest in the development of artists, and we're seeing that unfold in the lack of talent we have in the pop space. To be a star from the 80s to 90s to early 2000s, the job of the A&R was to not only scout talent, but it was also to spend time developing talent once talent was signed to the record label. Now we see that record labels are not investing in the development of artists. They want artists to be radio ready, performance ready. Because of this shift, we are struggling to find artists who have the capacity to sell arenas or stadium tours, the capacity to have longevity past one or two hits. We are lacking severe diversity in musical genres, musical types, musical talents across the board. Back in the day, in order for you to be signed, you had to go through a rigorous training camp. We see this with the last of the pop class that are now in their 40s. Beyonce, Christina, NSYNC, JT, the Usher, the list goes on.
I'm not going to do too much on autotune because I will be filming a video in the same outfit right after about the Charlie XCX critiques, but unfortunately, she won't be in this video because we've seen from her career, that's a different conversation. But back into my point, I also believe there is this current longevity crisis within music production teams finding and trying to curate the perfect pop star. First of all, the person has to come up with a huge, deniable, innate talent. It's because, when a girlie comes out on the stage, she can't sing. She can't create her own lyrics. She can't write her own lyrics. People have to write it for her. It's just like, what can you do? You're not an artist. You're just somebody reading off a script and acting, essentially. And in reality, like, over time, after the hype has faded over an artist, after you guys stop pushing this artist down our throats to make us like her, specifically, I'm going to be talking about the Addison Rae situation, because you know what? First of all, what I want to start off with before I even talk about her is somebody can be performative and somebody can seem inauthentic and fake and seem like they are, their image was put together by their team and they've been PR trained. That's not going to say that like Addison Rae's music isn't good, because she has some bops. I don't support that. I don't support what she was saying about Black Lives Matter and all that, but she has some bops, and the aesthetic is aestheticing. The body is body. But, but, we cannot deny the fact that her image is feeling fake.
You know what's interesting about being Gen Z? Everyone's interested in looking cool, but no one's actually cool anymore. And I also think that the overpopularization of the internet and aesthetics and needing to have a vibe and everything curated is making a lot of people think that they are creative without having to do any creative work or any process in developing their artistry at all. Being an artist takes a lot of time. It takes your life. It takes developing a certain style. It takes developing an ear. And you do that by listening to your intuition and your taste, your vision. That's what makes you successful and stand apart as an artist, your uniqueness, right? And so when we have social media and we get to see what looks cool, we also get to see it being validated in its coolness with the amount of likes, reposts, comments, etc. You're being told this is cool. And so instead of that being something that you developed organically, it's something that you see and replicate.
Always give me more views, kinda like your day job. Got a lot to say about my debut.
Same with Benson Boone. Baby, I don't know what it is about these male artists and these flips, specifically the male pop stars. What is it with the flip? What the flip?
Do a flip! Do a flip! Do a flip!
What is it with the flip? Like, guys really think, oh, if I flip, and if I wear weird costumes, and if I get a weird haircut, and make interesting music, I'm the next big thing. And I mean, that's what the production teams come up with. Like, that's what these music production teams be. Ooh, this is the perfect one. Sure, to a younger audience, that image is not gonna last for too long.
Why can I not vibe with Benny Boone? What's the fucking deal, man? I can't get into him. I don't understand why. Ding, 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 it clicked. And all it took was me putting a side-by-side photo of him with Harry, Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, and you know, a few others. And guess what consensus I came to? It lacks authenticity. It lacks authenticity. We are literally in like the authenticity era of life. It's what people are craving the most because it feels like it's the most scarce. It's so hard to come across. Benny Boone over here, he does not feel authentic. He feels cooked up in a lab. He feels like a straight frat bro and his friends were like, dude, I know how to make you the biggest pop star in the world. Do what Harry did. Do what that Harry Styles guy did. He's not even on the scene. He's taking a break. All right? Go reheat his nachos, as the kids say. Here's the thing, though. Benny Boone, he can put on every designer outfit. He can do it all. But he lacks what? The aura.
Like, babe, there's only so many times you can keep doing the same things to keep an audience into the point where they're just like, ugh. And I know you guys have seen my video on Chaperone. And, you know, talking about her constantly complaining about being a celebrity and stuff like that, and the political stuff. And over the past couple of months, she's kept her mouth shut about that. And thank God, I just feel like, you know, that's another thing. These pop stars are not PR trained enough, and we're seeing too much of them on the internet. One thing about these pop stars from the past, the Beyoncés, the Rihannas, the Michael Jacksons, even though Michael Jackson has passed away and is not alive at this time, if he was, he would not be on the net. These pop stars are not on the net. The more the pop stars are on the internet talking to us, trying to be friendly, you know what I'm saying, 24/7, 365 days, one, it makes people start realize, oh, you're just like me. Pop stars shouldn't feel that way. Babe, you have millions of dollars, millions of sponsors. You wake up every day, have a production team too. You have a whole team of different people doing what they can do to excel your brand and your image to other millions of people who are constantly watching you, following you, and you're making millions of dollars. There's no reason, specifically during this time where, you know, people cannot afford to live, there's no reason you should be pretending like I'm just like you. No. Especially because this has been getting a lot of the girlies caught up on the internet. Like, there should not be any reason why you're on the internet so much to the point where you, as Addison Rae, a pop star, the first thing people talk about when saying, oh, I love her album, but did we not recall that time she was talking about how Black Lives Matter is a joke and stuff? It's like, we shouldn't even have to think about that, babe. PR train it down.
There's something to be said about this Allison Ray situation, and I'm not even gonna lie, I drank the juice for a little bit when she made the that was a banger. However, can we stop acting like she's a new pop star? The girl, there's literally a video of her going up to Donald Trump, unprovoked, talking about, hi, Trump, it's me, Addison. That can't be their new pop star y'all talking about. That can't be the new pop star you're talking about. And then I saw some shit about her thinking like BLM was a cult. But she was raised in the South. But she didn't know. No, but she's different now, guys, wait.
And I even know it's a YouTuber. Once my YouTube followers continue to go up at some period of time, me being messy, I'm gonna have to cut that out. I'm gonna have to lock in, because at a certain point there's no longer time for being messy. It's to deliver y'all the tea, to key, and to go back into the booth, produce more videos, become more creative with my research, and keep it pushing. A lot of these pop stars are now starting to come up from TikTok stardom, and since they're heavily on TikTok and their teams are heavily on the internet, and it gained a huge audience before they became a pop star for certain things. They try to break out, like the Rihanna with like the Good Girl Gone Bad. They try to break out and flip their whole identity when it's like, babe, we've had enough time seeing you on the talk, seeing you on social media every single day. We have identified who you are as a human being. You doing this flip has now made us realize this persona you're putting on right now, trying to be the new pop star, putting on these different outfits and aesthetics and posing differently and putting your phone in different ways and trying to be creative. We know that this is not authentic. We know this is not you. So when we hear your music and when we hear you talk, it doesn't sound real. And as Gen Z and in a period of time where everybody's looking for us to head back to the 2000s and asking where's these 2000 pop cultural icons and why all of our music is so garbage and so bland, the number one reason why is because people these days, people in real life can't even be authentic, let alone a celebrity or somebody who has all these teams behind them. They can't even be, they can't be authentic with themselves, because when you're being yourself as an artist and you have a team of people telling you what to create and writing your music for you, it's never going to happen. And that's another thing that we need to talk about. The production teams and the music production and people controlling what these artists put out. That's another reason why underground and unreleased music, that music is hitting, but the music that's released is garbage.
It will never make sense to me how an artist will make the best song that they've ever made in their entire career, listen to that shit over again and go, oh yeah, we never finna drop this. Like why do y'all do that?
And that's on the fault of the labels, because the labels do not know how to properly maintain momentum. They also believe, we're gonna go what's best for the company, not knowing that if millions of people are saying, I want this song as it's unreleased, you need to put it out. I don't understand why the artists cannot just put the songs out. And then they put the album out and the songs it's like there's only a few songs on the album where, they're actually hitting. The other ones are just like, okay, next. And, going back to Charlie XCX, maybe I would say that about the Brat album. I feel like her Boiler Rooms, if Charlie XCX released EDM and, fully remixed songs like the Boiler Rooms with the EDM and the electronic and the hyperpop mixed together, I feel like as an audience that'd be more exciting to hear. But I also feel like it would cause a lot of backlash because, like I said, like the production team knows what their specific audience, the target audience, is going to listen to, even though the target audience is consistently complaining about the music being boring, because all of this music is starting to sound the same. When artists are going out and being different and being unique, it costs more money and it costs more time, and it takes more time for people over time to be like, oh, this is good, oh, this is hidden, like with Playboi Carti, this isn't a pop star music, this is a pop star video. But like in the beginning, when Playboi Carti was in his opium era, people were saying this is trash, this is different, and now look, we have a whole wave of opium guys putting on opium outfits, and like now it's a whole lifestyle to be opium. But that was it for this video. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe, follow my other channel, because I actually talked about I actually talked about authenticity with pop stars and fashion on my other channel. So if you're interested, go over there. And yeah, have a beautiful day.
Life moves fast and you